What's going on, guys? It is Murder Inc. here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than anything I've done before. Now, we do have a 2x Void Summoning Shard event coming up. So, I want to talk about today who the best Void Legendary in this game is. Now, how can I possibly talk about this if I don't believe in tier lists? That is a very good question. Basically, what I want to do is go over early game, mid game, end game, my opinion on it, see what you guys think, see if we can meet some common ground here. And this is purely and strictly opinion based. I'm going to be putting a lot of data behind what I'm saying, based on the kits, based on how strong they are. However, don't take this as gospel, because I've seen many people do that and it's terrible for your account. So the first thing I want to say is, what is the best Void Legendary in the game? The one you simply don't have. This is going to be the case for 99% of people. However, let's get into it and let's start with the early game. So when we're talking about early game, I have to narrow it down to 2 champions. This is the test server, and unfortunately it looks like I did not have my Krisk. Okay, so the 2 champions that I would pick if I had to, for some reason he's wearing a reaction ring. That's fine, he's probably OP just with 1 ring on. So early game, my best champions would have to be either Krisk the Ageless or Siphi the Lost Bride. Now this is going to be a toss-up between the 2 of them. Maybe there are some other options, you guys can let me know, and this is for early game only, keep that in mind. I'm really leaning more towards Krisk, to be honest with you guys, because it does apply that defense down, the attack down on being hit. We have increased speed, provoke, he's so tanky, applies his shit. Wait, is this guy busted? I just listed like 50 different champion. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about here. Krisk is pretty good, especially for the early game, so that's where I'm at with that. Siphi, yes, everyone knows about Siphi. We have defense up, we have block cooldown, revive, heal. What can't she do? Well, she can't do what Krisk does, that's for sure. So I do have to give Krisk the kind of emblem and medal for being the best survivability choice. However, the best overall choice, I can definitely see a case made for Siphi the Lost Bride. She's going to do really strong in arena, so is Krisk. She's going to be decent in clan boss, probably really good early game for clan boss, but so is Krisk. And I mean, so it's Krisk, you know what I mean. So I'm gonna have to go with Krisk the Ageless out of every single Void Legendary option for the probably the best champion to pull if you're early game and you were given the option of picking 1 Void Legendary. Let me know what you guys think, and you can kind of break this down when I do early game, mid game, and end game. So Krisk is going to be my pick there. Do you think I missed somebody? Could Hegemon be a contender? I don't think he's going to be in all content. What about Tormund? He definitely has his uses, but not everywhere. Give me your feedback, let me know what you think. You cannot include Lydia for early game because she cannot be pulled. Alright, with that being said, let's go ahead and move straight into the mid game. Who are we going to pick? I'm actually still going to keep Krisk here. I'm probably not going to keep Siphi here, only because a lot of people towards the end of mid game are within the reach of getting Arbiter. Now I'm thinking about things extremely analytically, and that's kind of what I was going at before here. Arbiter aside, I think Siphi would still be in the running. However, I think Arbiter is going to be strong enough to have, so you'd want someone else on top of that. So Venus is a strong option, defense down, weaken. I wouldn't consider Lydia a viable option yet, because I don't think many people at the end of mid game are that close, unless you're like wailing out hardcore, then you've probably already zoomed all the way to endgame. So for me, I'm gonna have to say Sir Nicholas becomes a contender with Krisk, and then finally Warlord. Warlord is, we're gonna get to talking about Warlord, but Warlord's so strong. He has that A3 that's incredible. He can be used successfully in clan boss with the shield, with the extending of the buffs. And like I said, in all other content, he resets all of the cooldowns of your opponents. He resets that turn meter. So that is huge for sure. I can see Tormund kind of sneaking his way into this list here for the mid game. However, we can only pick 1. Ursuga is another option, but she's a little bit hard to gear properly. She takes a ton of damage, doesn't have that shield. benefit that Krisk has. So for me personally, I'm going to narrow it down to Krisk the Ageless and Sir Nicholas. I'm leaning more towards Sir Nicholas just because when I think about mid-game, I think about what is the spider dungeon? Why is this so hard? Why am I stuck here for 1 month, 2 months? So with that thought alone, I'm really gravitating towards Sir Nicholas because he makes it extremely easy to progress right through that spider. So my personal pick for the best Void Legendary in the mid game, if you had to pull one of them to really pop your progression off, would definitely have to be Sir Nicholas. Give me your thoughts, give me your feedback. Who are you going to pick? I think if I had to guess, a lot of people are going to say siphi, and I kind of gave you my reasoning on why Arbiter and siphi together. It's kind of cool having them both, but I would rather have Arbiter and pretty much anybody else for that specific case. Okay, now moving on to the end game. This is where it gets extremely interesting here. Alright, so I'm not going to be counting Lydia for the end game because she's the champion you're going to get. However, we are going to consider now having Arbiter and Lydia together. So who does that make for the strongest Void Legendary in the entire game? And I know I'm simply looking at champions I have, and I cannot forget that we do have Necrit in the pool, we have Riho in the pool, who is brand new here, all solid options for sure. We have Aithos, who's an amazing wave clear champion. Out of all of these champions together, you really have to consider, I think I'm going to be pushing Sir Nicholas aside for now, since he would have served most of his use in that mid-game scenario. There are definitely ways to use him in the end game, however, I would keep him in that mid game for his prime time usage. And as far as overall goes, I'm kind of leaning towards Warlord. I'm not going to lie. I think Warlord's one of the strongest champions. He's game changing for the arena. He might be the best arena champion in the game right now. I mean, there is Kaimar, so that's kind of a hard statement, but we're talking about Voids only, so don't freak out. So best Void champion for arena in the game is probably either siphi or Warlord. I'm gravitating more towards Warlord, and I kind of explain why. His A3 is... What do you do against his A3? Honestly, I'm asking you. Just answer. Talk to the screen. Just give me an answer. What do you do against it? CC him? What if he's faster? Resistance? What if he has more accuracy? What if he hits that 3% chance? Okay, that's my rant. Anyways, so we have Torment here, really strong option. We have Hegemon, who I think Hegemon's kind of sneaking up here on the list overall as far as a really good champion to have in this scenario. He's helpful in, arena. Can't deny he's very strong in arena. He will guarantee you lots of wins in arena on offense and defense, which is really hard to do. He makes a lot of people avoid you, making you sit pretty comfortably wherever you are. He will not be as good in the clan boss, not that I've tried, I'm just assuming here. And dungeons, I've used him in dungeons. I used him to farm Fire Knight 20. It's a lot of fun if you build him with some damage and a CC set like we have here. So he's very good. Torment, another champion. I don't think Torment's as strong as Hegemon is. Overall for the arena, he has some use in Spider Dungeon with an HP burn, but that's rather conditional. Siphi, once again, is kind of escalating to the top of the list. Krisk, as always. However, Krisk kind of falls off a bit in the end game, because there are a lot of options where you can kind of mix and match champions to do what Krisk does. So his carry was definitely from the early game to mid game, and it does still continue to the end game, but I really want to stress that when you're talking about end game content, you've pretty much done everything in this game. So who's going to be your best champions? I do believe it's going to be either siphi, Warlord, or a Necrit. And if I had to personally pick, if you said, hey Murder, you have one champion, just pick right now, no more stalling, because that's exactly what you're doing in this video, I would say, okay, if I'm going to pick, I would have to say siphi. I didn't pick Warlord simply because reaction gear, all of this new content, siphi has proven to be a much higher value to me personally in doing all of the content where I haven't been using Warlord as much. So if I had to pick one champion, it would in fact be siphi the Lost Bride. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm way off here? Would you pick another champion? Who are you guys hoping for from the 2x event? I'm hoping for nobody, because I'm smart. I know I'm not going to get who I want, so I'm not going to put myself through wanting a champion. I would recommend that to you all, but I'm still interested. Who do you guys want? Who are you looking forward to pull? And I do wish you all fantastic luck on this Void 2x weekend. Alright guys, and with that being said, that will conclude my video today. Let me know what you think. Should I be doing this for the Ancient Weekends? Would you be curious to see this for the Sacred? Like I said, I've never done a video like this. I think a lot of them don't offer a lot of value, so I tried to spice things up, give my own take on it. Give me your feedback. What do you think of the video? If you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next upload, and I will see you all in my next video.